This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show, episode number 332. 332, man, getting up there. I'm super excited for our guest this week. I was able to go and introduce myself last week at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. I think that's the official title. Anyway, please help me welcome our next guest, Jason Ratner. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We're midway through Festival of the Arts. How has it been treating you so far?
It's good. It's been really good. I know. I was thinking about that today, that it was like at the halfway mark. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Did it just like fly by that first month?
It does. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing actually a little bit less appearances this year than last year, and it's still like just flying by. So.
All right. Let's see here if I could pull it up real quick.
Sure.
Here we go. Here's your dates. Again, left side. Ignore. We've already done those.
January's over.
But still every weekend in February, and even a Friday coming up as well.
Yeah.
For you at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. Oh, I did have it right.
Yes. Yep.
So and then you have three prints this show, right?
Yes.
That are exclusive to this. So let's see here. We had the Cinderella print, the Steamboat Willie, which I absolutely love, and then the Neon Jessica Rabbit, which is amazing. I've seen the big version of it inside the art store in the American Pavilion, and it looks amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That was a lot of fun to work on.
So who decides when you're working on this that's the characters or the topics, the movies that you will be working from? Does Disney come to you and say, hey, we want you to do things for this, or do they just say, hey, we want you to come up with three prints, and then it's up to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually so far for me been pretty open. So like, we really just kind of put out our own concepts and different ideas of which characters or movies we want to do art from. And then, if, for whatever reason, there isn't a reason not to do a specific character or movie at that time, they may ask for something different, but it's pretty much up to us. And then, of course there's concepts and approval process throughout, but so that's pretty great because it's fun to be able to, think about our own, favorites and get to actually bring this to life in our artwork. So
that's awesome. Now, how many concepts, different characters, different movies did you come up with before for this year, before the final three were decided?
I usually try to come up with 4. I've always, for each festival, I've always had 3 pieces.
Right.
My goal is to one day have 4. But just, life and other stuff going on, I know 3 is sort of where I've been comfortable. But yeah, I'll try to at least do 4. One more that I know I probably could do just in case there is we need to substitute one of them for something else, so that I've got something in my back pocket ready to go and put out there. So
that's awesome. And how many years have you been doing the Festival of the Arts now?
This is the 5th year, which is crazy. So,
wow. Has it really? Gosh.
I know, it's crazy. I remember back when it was, Festival of the Masters at Downtown Disney.
At Downtown Disney, yes. Oh my gosh, I used to love Festival of the Masters, man.
Walking through there, just thinking about, wishing and hoping one day I could have my artwork out there. So it's still surreal. Even 5 years later, it's like, it hasn't sunk in fully.
It's and you're I know some artists, especially at Festival of the Arts, they come from all over the place, a lot of California and stuff like that. Now you're here in Central Florida, right?
Yeah. I'm actually in Winter Garden, pretty close to Disney. So how
often do you get to the parks?
very often. And we have a 5-year-old, my daughter Lily. So she's really tall for a 5-year-old, so she's tall enough now to ride everything. So that's been a lot of fun for us because she's pretty brave, and so we'll pretty much get to try everything out with her now, and that's been extra incentive to get back to the parks more. So, but yeah, we go fairly often. It's fun.
That's awesome. And obviously, you've been out to Disneyland a bunch of times, but you just got to go out there for the first time with her as a family, right?
Yeah, that was great. And to hear her, 'cause she's got a lot of opinions, and she's definitely forming this big personality. So she can really formulate her thoughts on what she thinks of Disneyland versus Disney World, and so to hear that from her is a lot of fun and very interesting. But she loved it, and she could definitely differentiate, what's different about that Magic Kingdom, Disneyland versus our Magic Kingdom and stuff. So it was awesome. Yeah.
So what does she like better?
While we were there, I know she was saying she liked Disneyland better than Disney World, but I was like, well, you're forgetting that, you don't have to say you like one more than the other. You can love them both. But, in Fantasyland in particular, there's just a lot more, the dark rides for kids and stuff that I think she was super excited about. But she still talks about the Matterhorn and Indiana Jones, which she did not want to go on. She still talks about that because that's one of her favorites. So she's definitely got, some favorites from there that I think she likes more than here, but we're here, so it's different.
Right. And Cars Land, man. Every time somebody says, "Oh, well, Walt Disney World is better," I go, no, Cars Land. Cars Land.
Yeah, we didn't have a ton of time. We were there. We got to do Merriest Nights, so that gave us like a good chunk of time to do some stuff before our first full day at Disneyland. So obviously the holiday stuff, like, Haunted Mansion Holiday, which was the first time any of us had seen it. So I was blown away. I knew it was going to be great. And Lily, she loves Nightmare Before Christmas. So she was just, mine was blown for all of us, I think. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love Nightmare out there. It's just really cool to see extras being done in the parks over at Disneyland to keep people happy. Now, you're in Central Florida now, but where are you from? Where's your origin story?
I'm a New Yorker.
So okay.
I'm originally from New York. I was born in the Bronx, and then probably I think when I was about 11 or 12, we moved upstate to Poughkeepsie, New York, which was like maybe an hour and a half outside of like the city and stuff. And then I got into college in Brooklyn at Pratt Institute, so I lived in Brooklyn while I was at school.
Oh, so yeah. Are you a Yankees fan? You a New York sports fan then?
I mean, Yankees. For baseball, I think Yankees more than the Mets, but I don't know. We didn't get to nearly enough baseball games while we were out there. So,
well, I mean, every time they come to Florida, man, it's a happening deal. Like tickets are super tough to get when the Yankees come to town over in Tampa.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then at what age did you really get into becoming an artist and being like, oh wow, I'm actually good at this, and as opposed to just drawing doodles on a notepad that everyone does? When did it click that you were actually talented, and could do this for a living?
I mean, thinking way back, one of my very earliest memories as a little kid, I may have been like 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't know. But my brother, who's 3 years older than me, he was 3 years older than me. He was taking art classes, like with a private class or whatever. And there was a couple kids, and I'd see him come home with like his drawings and stuff, and just thinking like, I really want to do that, And so I was from there starting to draw a lot more and taking on a lot of more, art projects and stuff for myself as a little kid. But, getting into like through middle school and high school, I actually was doing like a lot of theater stuff. I was, doing stuff in our, school productions and stuff. So I actually thought maybe I was going to head that direction. And then my senior year of high school, we were offered a graphic design class. And so I jumped into that. and it was mostly like Photoshop. I don't even really remember a lot of Illustrator, but I remember just falling in love with it. And I was also a super X-Men fan, so I was like doing like X-Men projects and using Photoshop in there. I did this like big storm thing, and I remember being so proud of it. And so I think from that senior class, I was like, okay, I think like graphic design is something I really want to pursue. And then when getting into college, we still did a lot of the fine art stuff. So I did painting and life drawing and, a lot of the foundation stuff, which I loved, but my core focus was in graphic arts. So yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a journey to get to that decision, but.
So, and then speaking of college, you partook in the college program, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So was that your first, had you been to Disney before that, or was that your first taste into Disney?
We did a few trips as a family growing up. So the college program, though, when I did it originally, was just working at like All Star Music front desk. So that was a lot of fun. But so being out there and living over at Disney was, obviously a new experience. So first time really living away from home, like a lot of big firsts. I turned 21 out there, or out here. So it was cool. Of course, I was like, it was a little bit harder to network and find, the creatives within that program, just because it's really not focused it's not very career focused. But there's a lot of other things that you do learn from it, and you do get that exposure. It is what you make it too. So I was definitely asking around, who can I talk to or meet with and stuff like that. So, but then after graduation, I did the professional internship with Disney doing graphic design and stuff. So that was, where it really led to, my future career at Disney and stuff. So.
Right. So when doing that, so how do you go from doing like an internship and then, doing graphic design to being able to work for Disney as a designer exclusively?
Yeah. So really, actually, it didn't happen super easy for me. So, I did the internship, and unfortunately after that, obviously, there's going to be an end date and your contract is going to end. And there wasn't anything full time for me at the moment. So I decided to leave. Well, I had to leave the company after the internship, and then stayed in Florida so that I could at least be close, because I knew my goal was to continue pursuing a job at Disney. So I jumped around to a few other graphic design positions over 5 years, and not in that 5 years, of course, I was still looking to try to get into Disney, and it just, wasn't happening, the timing, and, maybe there wasn't a lot of jobs available either. So, but finally, an opportunity came up and I applied for it, and, fortunately had gotten it. So but it did take me a while, but I think the outside experience that I had, was valuable because I was still looking for jobs that added a good body of work to my portfolio. And I was doing, I'd started my own invitation design business. So I was doing some of that stuff for weddings, and, building that stuff into my portfolio as well as just something else to, make money financially and, have some extra cash. So yeah, I mean, it was valuable. So whenever I talk to people who are looking for internships and wanting to get to Disney right away, I try to remind them, don't freak out if it doesn't happen, immediately, because, sometimes it does. And then sometimes it takes a little longer.
Right. Now, did you, in order to keep your Disney art chops fresh, did you do anything like comic conventions or anything like that, setting up in artist alleys, or, working on new characters? Did you do anything like that?
No, I've never done anything like that. I always admire everyone that does, because I think it's super cool to be able to have that, large variety of work that you can sell, and be out there at those conventions and stuff. So, I've never had a chance to do that, but I also was not really, I think, until I also wasn't doing a ton of illustration work like I'm doing right now.
Okay, right.
So it was more, branding and typography and, graphic design from that perspective, rather than being more character driven illustration stuff.
Right. Okay.
So it wasn't until probably like halfway through my Disney career, my time at Disney was where I started to do some stuff for like the Disney Parks blog and some more illustrative stuff for the social media accounts. Just by, networking and trying to figure out if there was a need for any just artwork that was different than what I was doing, but that I was,
Absolutely smart.
yeah. So ultimately, I think that led to helping me figure out more of what I wanted to do with illustration and stuff. So
That's awesome. That's cool. Do you remember the first Disney movie, like the animated movie, that you obsessed over when you were younger?
Well, and the first movie I remember going to see in the theater was The Little Mermaid, and we were still living in the Bronx. And I remember me and my best friend, my mom had taken us, and I remember thinking like, oh my God, this is, amazing. It's a cartoon, but, it was amazing. And, from there, like I would beg my parents to get me the soundtracks on the, tapes and stuff. And I would listen to them over and over. So I remember doing that with Little Mermaid.
On tapes.
Yeah.
You're aging us here. I did the same thing. Yes.
Yeah. Until I wore them out, and then of course, some were DVDs, but, yeah, I mean, so Little Mermaid was like my earliest memory in terms of like, seeing something in the theater and being blown away, just by the story and, everything else about it, the animation.
Oh, absolutely. Now,
sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, going back to, doing, your own artwork versus what, Disney asks you, do you, when you're working on these projects and you made these 3 for Festival of the Arts, how long is that process? And are you, during the course of the year, are you working on other projects as well?
Typically we'll have about 3-ish months to do all the pieces that we're going to submit. I think it's like 3 to 4 months. So I'm working on all of them all at the same time.
Oh,
and then of course, that's usually after the full-time work during the day.
Right.
So it's, a lot of late nights for those, and long weekends for those 3 pieces to get them done. And I juggle them back and forth, probably like any artist. Like if you're doing a bunch of projects at the same time, like sometimes one takes off faster than another. So you stick with that. And so you can try to get through it and, go back and forth. So, of course there's always one or several that give you a lot more headaches than some, but, usually I'm finishing them up like right to the last moment. Super late, the last day before they're due. And
right.
So it's, yeah.
At 11:59 p.m. you're hitting send.
Yeah, for sure. Or 4 a.m. or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of your own art like displayed around the house, or are there other artists that you're really big fans of that you seek out, their work? What do you have displayed around the house?
As you can see behind me, I have a lot of collectibles, Disney collectibles. And unfortunately, I do buy my own art, the prints and stuff, just, so that I have that. But I'm still sort of trying to figure out what to do with my office. So I haven't really put any up, sadly. I know that sounds awful. So a lot of my Disney is contained to this room. I mean, my wife's a big Disney fan as well, but currently I don't really have any other art up in the house, which is, I know, terrible. Like we have some photography that we've taken on trips and things like that. So
that's cool.
Personal moments and stuff, or
yeah,
some Disney cruise photos that we've taken from family vacations, things like that. And then in terms of other artists, I mean, the festival is like a big eye opener for me a lot of the time, even year after year, even though I know some of the same people are coming back, and then I get to meet some, newer folks that I haven't met before. But I mean, I'm just, out there to see what everyone else is doing. And it's exciting for me to see how everyone's style is different. And, but yeah, in terms of collecting other art, I'm really big into into like physical pieces and statues and stuff. So I haven't, of course I admire tons of different artists and stuff like that. So.
All right. Now's the time that you're dreading.
Okay.
It is going to be time.
I'm worried.
For the Milo Beasley Show frequently asked questions. These are going to be the same 5 questions that I ask to every guest here on the Milo Beasley Show. So are you ready?
I hope
They're
so.
easy questions. I think you should. I mean, theoretically, you know all the answers already. So, all right. Question number 1. What was your very first concert?
I think it was my brother took me for my birthday to a Janet Jackson concert at Madison Square Garden. I don't remember the year, but that is the first major concert that I know of that I've been to. So,
Dude.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that I do remember. That was crazy. I forget which tour it was. I mean, I probably could look it up, but Rhythm Nation or whatever, I think.
Right.
But, yeah. So
that's huge, man.
yeah,
Gosh, super jealous.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Super jealous. All right, question number 2.
All right.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I think maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know that I've had any reason to make me believe in it, but I mean, we've always been like sort of enamored by like ghost tours and stuff like that, you know, in different areas. But so maybe, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way I go on that. I think I'm a
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I go back and forth. I think I go back and forth. All right. Question number 3.
Okay.
In a movie about your life, who would play your parents?
Ooh. Now I'm trying to go through like the Rolodex of celebrities. Who would play my parents? I feel like maybe like Tony Danza could be my dad. Like his accent, like my dad. I mean, I know his probably like not a thick New York accent, but he's got that heavy accent. And for my mom, I don't want to say that exactly like the mom and the nanny, Fran Drescher's mom, but maybe a version of
Okay.
that, you know, like the nanny and the nanny's mom mixed together. Like a good Jewish mother.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to go watch the nanny. Like I love the nanny.
My mom's always been brunette, but you know, and not necessarily the yeah. Just I think probably that's a good one. I won't tell her though.
Question number 4.
All right.
Who is your favorite person to follow on social media?
Ooh. Gosh. Okay, that's tough. I mean, I follow a lot of other artists, obviously, but
Right.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone that stands out.
See, this is one of those questions where, like, if you don't say somebody's name and they watch this, they're like,
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
who's gonna get least offended?
yeah, it's gonna be at least offended. Oh gosh, I don't know. My wife has a great social media account. I love that content on there.
That's a good answer. That is a great answer.
Great Lily videos and stuff like that. And sometimes she'll be posting stuff, and I'll not, you know, like, oh, I never saw that, or I didn't know Lily did that. So it's almost like is a different. I know it's probably like a little cliche, but
no,
you know,
no, absolutely, I get it. 100%.
Yeah.
And then question number 5: amongst your travels, you're working at Disney, you're going to shows, being, you know, set up at Disney.
Okay.
What is your biggest fanboy moment where you saw somebody, you went to try to talk to them, words couldn't come out, or you were just like, no, I'm not going to go talk to them because of so and so, or you went and you ran up, got your selfie. What's been your biggest fanboy moment?
Oh man. Gosh. I don't know that it's necessarily from like this life that I'm living. It's like in my college days life. I was doing something else and I had a moment, but I'm trying to think of anything more current. Dang.
Oh, what's that one? What's the college one?
Well, so back in college, I worked for this event company where they would send, like, if they needed help with big events and stuff, they would send us out to, like, we were essentially like servers or help with guests coming into an event or whatever, get them seated and stuff. But I was working this party in Brooklyn, and it was Missy Elliott that walked in, and like Little Kim was there. But the Missy Elliott moment, I literally was like, I don't care if I get fired. I mean, I just love her and her music so much. Like that, I mean, that one's engraved in my brain because I remember that feeling. But I didn't, she was crowded by like a bunch of people, like
Right.
immediately after I saw her walk in. So I was like, well, there goes my chance. But
hey, it's still possible. Throw it out there to the universe.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I've had more moments like that, but maybe one day.
Hey, maybe one day. You're still super young.
Yeah.
Have you been to a D23?
No, but this will be my first year that I'm going, so I am pumped about that.
Fantastic. I have my tickets, so I will be looking for you there on the show floor. I know you'll be.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect really, other than I hope to buy a lot of stuff, and I hope not to lose a lot of sleep, from waiting around.
Just one weekend of sleep.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm sure there I might have some of those moments, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And then the second little mini game, it's called the Milo Beasley Show Top 5. I'm going to ask you a random question. You're going to give me your top 5 answers. This one's easy.
I hope so.
You already hinted about it earlier, but we're going to go with top 5 X-Men characters.
Okay. So you want me to list my top 5?
Top 5, no particular order. Yes.
Okay. It's a toss-up, and I'm going to say Storm, number 1.
Okay.
Jean Grey, number 2. Rogue, number 3. Her and Jean can also be in tie for that. And then Wolverine, number 4. Number 5. I really like Mystique. Like I try to, some of the villains are, and we're talking like old comic cartoon versions of these characters.
Right.
But yeah, I think Mystique. I could keep going because I love X-Men. But
so you're excited for X-Men 92 coming out on the Disney Plus then?
Very much so. Definitely. Like I can't believe it. It'll be great.
That's I'm super excited for it too. Obviously I'm a huge Marvel fan. So X-Men 92 coming to Disney Plus is going to be fantastic. All right. So before we wrap up again, let's chat this weekend and for every weekend for the rest of February
till the end.
till the end. Where is it at the Wonderground?
Yeah, so I'm at the Wonderground 10 between Morocco and France. So
awesome. And and these beauties will be there. And if you want to see the coolest thing, go to the art store in the American Pavilion and check out that Neon Jessica. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I can't say enough. I couldn't say it. You have to see it in person. Trust me. So if folks want to follow you on the social medias, where can they go?
Prominently on Instagram. So that's JRatner81, JAY. And then JRatner81 on Twitter, but it's just JRATNER 81 on Twitter. So, and then I have my website's jratnerdesign.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, head out to Festival of the Arts. Say hi to Jason. Get those prints signed. There's even a little postcards and stuff like that as well, right?
Yes. Yep.
So thank you everyone for watching this week. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But more importantly, tell your friends. And we will see you all next week.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye.